Welcome everybody for our weekly review. Thanks as always for joining us. It's been a jam-packed week of a lot of troubling action by the majority party, no surprise. I just came from the House floor where the majority party passed through just barely a continuing resolution to keep government open. At the end of this month, we will no longer have an authorization to keep the government rolling. So once again, we're in this fiscal chaos that makes us a laughing stock to the rest of the developed world and hurts our financial position. This continuing resolution, on top of what they took away from voters in their previous big ugly bill, where they're cutting health care for up to 17 million people on Medicaid. They're taking away the nutritional program that helps people in need to get to the food that they need in the wealthiest country in the history of the planet. We can certainly help people when, for whatever reason, not fraud or abuse, they need some help up. So they did that all in the big ugly bill, and then in this one, they continued the attack on Americans and working Americans by making it harder for people to get health care. The biggest attack here, as somebody who spent a lot of time in healthcare as a patient and as a legislator in the legislature and local government now here, the assault on healthcare for Americans is just unbelievable. Whether it's research, I spoke on the floor this week about the unfathomable cuts to research in cancer, of which I'm a stage 4 survivor. For every $1 we spend on public cancer research, the economy gets $2.56 back. It's an amazing return on investment just from a fiscal standpoint, but also it's helped people live longer, and I'm a prime example of that. If it wasn't for American-funded research, taxpayers' research, I and a lot of other people would be dead right now. You're 40% more likely to be able to live with a cancer diagnosis today than you were 30 years ago. So all of that is bad news for this country, but we're going to keep fighting it. It was great to welcome people from the district, as always, in particular people in fields that I've had long relationships with, the Contra Costa Transportation Authority, of which I have been a member of at various levels of government for many years, and to work on projects that we've been successful at. We will be the first urban county in the country to have a fully integrated systems management system. Every street light in Contra Costa, and I'm proud of getting millions of dollars for this, will be integrated into a central place where in real time we'll be watching and adjusting the street lights is how you travel in every surface street in the county and onto the freeways or to mass transit, and we'll be able to manage that better. Whether there's an accident or unexpected delays of any type, we'll be watching that in real time and have state-of-the-art computers and software and hardware in every single light. I'm very, very proud of that. $166 million mega grant as part of the infrastructure bill that I was a proud author of and very engaged in for the 680 corridor. It'll be one of the most advanced corridors of the United States in terms of the same kind of intelligent, best available technology to move people up and down that busy, congested corridor. So that's about to be released, and it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to be part of, and I'm very proud of being an author of these things and seeing them get to the point of being delivered to you so you'll be able to get home faster and get to work faster and get to doctor's appointments or just be able to get to your regular chores every day. And then I spoke in committee about a tax on assistance to public education for kids with merit to be able to get into college with affordable Pell Grants, of which I've been involved with the whole time I've been here to make them more accessible while the administration tries to cut it. We want talented people to be able to become doctors, lawyers, accountants, teachers, not in that order, all of those things, researchers, based on their intellectual capacity, their talent and ability and hard work, not based on anything else, in my view, but be aware of all the other obstacles of that, particularly if they're disadvantaged and don't have the kind of resources that people who have resources from their families and other sources. let's see. And then continuing attack on American workers. I spoke on the floor about that. I've spent a lot of time on this as a senior member of the Education and Labor Committee and the ranking member in the Health, Employment, and Labor and Pensions Committee. So that's been the week here. I want to remind you that we continue to be proud of the fact that we've done more town halls than any other member of Congress in the 11 years I've been here. We're going to have a virtual town hall next week about the state of government funding, both historically and how we got into this situation, and how we don't have a remedy right now for government shutdown on September 30th. What the Republicans passed out now goes over to the Senate, and most likely it'll have to come back here. So there's a lot of unnecessary melodrama about this that's adding to our debt. And I finish with that big ugly bill. The most amazing thing to me in that is the Republicans, who tout themselves as the party of fiscal responsibility, in that bill just created another $3.5 trillion of debt to generations to come. And why they did that was to give a permanent tax cut to the very wealthiest Americans, who already have more money than at any other time in history, concentrated in that top 1% of obscenely wealthy people. I don't understand what you do with that. You can't take it with you. So that's the most outrageous legacy of the last month, and it's going to really hurt Americans. They took money away from working people and people who are working and are trying to be able to pay their bills, to give to obscenely wealthy people who keep it and hoard it to themselves. Sorry, but we'll have a town hall about that. We're going to keep fighting this and hope that when the country comes out of this, we'll have learned our lesson about this kind of partisanship and class warfare, quite frankly. I'll be seeing you in the district. I'll be very active for the next few weeks, and I'm always grateful for you to be able to stay engaged with us. Thanks.